Rasty McGibbon with University of Michigan Women's Division I Head Coach Jenna Trubiano. Jenna, thanks for coming on 5 Minute Major.
Thank you.
Second appearance in 2 years at the national tournament. How special is it for your team to be back?
It says a lot about our program and women's hockey at the University of Michigan. As a player, having made the national tournament as a student athlete at the University of Michigan, now as a coach for the second time in my third season, it's really special.
Is the experience dramatically different as a coach versus a player?
I think so. As a coach, you have a lot of other things you're thinking about outside of your individual performance on the ice. It's a lot of managing different parts and putting the pieces of the puzzle together, making sure that we've been preparing all season for this moment. So yeah, it's definitely different.
Do you think that there is more pressure, maybe in a different way?
Yes. Now as a head coach and sort of having the presence that we have at the University of Michigan, which is something we've never had before. It's been a brand we've been building for the past 10, 11 years since I've been involved with the program. There are definitely a lot more eyes on us now. And if you look at our program compared to most of the other W1 programs that are here, we're one of the more traditional club hockey programs where I am not a full-time coach. I have a full-time job in addition to doing this. So I'm very fortunate to be able to be here this week and kind of doing the two different jobs. But yeah, I think it just speaks a lot to what our student athletes do in the classroom, on the ice, and there's a lot of pressure for them too. I think I proctored probably 8 exams yesterday, so they're having to manage the academic side of things. I'm managing my full-time job while trying to prepare the team as well, so definitely different.
What advantage do you feel that you have, having experienced nationals as a player and now a coach, in terms of preparing your team for this?
I hope the players can relate to me. I was also a student at the University of Michigan, and it's an academically rigorous school. So I understand that their commitments outside of the rink are strenuous and it's mentally exhausting, and I went through that myself. So I think what we've been able to do is really balance our academics with our hockey commitment, and I think that's something that it's definitely something I wanted to bring as a head coach to our program, and it helps with recruiting as well. So yeah, I think having experience at the national tournament as a player, and now in my third season as a head coach, and us returning for the second time in 2 years, we've learned a lot about our team and what it's going to take to be successful.
When I spoke with your captain, Katie German, she says that you're starting to encounter young women now that are coming for a look around because it's University of Michigan, but staying because they want to play hockey.
Right.
Tell me about that dynamic and how that speaks to your program.
It's definitely shifted since I was a student athlete. I just showed up at Michigan because it was a great school and then realized there was a women's hockey program, whereas now we're actively recruiting. I'm going to elite tier 1 showcases. People are asking questions, and those students that may have explored other options, more so NCAA options, are looking at Michigan. We currently have 2 students on our roster that played NCAA Division I that are now playing ACHA Women's Division I. Both have transferred to Michigan because of the academics. We have another player that played NCAA Division III, transferred to Michigan because of the academics in the hockey program. So every year we're getting stronger in terms of the depth of our roster, and that's really exciting because it was not always this way. So for us to be able to compete with teams that have a full-time coaching staff, and that's something that we don't have yet, it's really special.
How do you feel the 2 times in 3 years coming to the national tournament? How do you feel that it accelerates your ability to schedule, recruit, and also just team exposure?
In terms of scheduling, obviously strength of schedule is something that is taken into consideration for the national ranking. So more competitive teams want to play us, which is great because we want to play those more competitive games. In terms of recruiting, we're definitely getting more interest, and it's becoming harder and harder to manage those inquiries as they come through,
Sure.
Which is something I know I need to focus on if our program continues to grow at the rate it has been growing. And in terms of exposure, I'm not sure if you saw, but President Santaono was actually at our last home regular season game, and he dropped the puck for us. And to to have somebody at such a large institution, the president of the University of Michigan, spend his time with our program and stayed for the entire game and, you know, had the ceremonial puck drop, we gave him a jersey, like that it just speaks to what we've been able to do the past 2 to 3 seasons.
When you look at, you're speaking about the involvement from the school, tell me about the level of school support and your gratitude for the involvement of the University of Michigan in women's ACHA hockey.
Yeah, it's relationships that we've built over the past 3, 4, 5 seasons, really, especially post-pandemic. Our ice bill is something that's always been the biggest fixed cost in our budget because we do pay for ice time at Yost. President Ono, the past 2 seasons, has been very generous and has supported us and reimbursed us for our ice bill the past 2 seasons, which is a huge, you know, financial burden typically for our student athletes. So to be able to have that support and obviously him showing up and being present around our student athletes, they feel seen, they feel heard. A lot of people think of club hockey. I don't, love the word club. I always talk about...
We actually use non-varsity.
Yes.
Yeah.
I talk, like, our program. It's our program.
Right.
We're the University of Michigan Women's Ice Hockey Program, and that's how we operate. We don't really consider...
Sorry, just hold it.
We don't really consider ourselves a club program. We operate at the highest level possible, and the university's support has been increasing every year. And today is actually Giving Blue Day, so we're having one of our biggest fundraisers of the year on day 1 of the national tournament. So it's been really exciting to see our support that way as well.
Well, hey, I want to welcome you guys back to the national tournament.
Thank you.
Want to wish you the best of luck on day 1. Okay?
Thank you.
And this is Jenna Trubiano, and we're learning that club is one of the new 4-letter words. Thanks for your time, and best of luck. Thank you.